An investigation is going to be conducted against Trump's actions. In Russia, the sortie flights have been delayed because of the drones attacks threat.
It's flying here. It's flying here.
I'm Albina Piderniak, offer you the most current news. Ukrainian drones attacked some regions of Russia. We are talking about Engels, Saratov and airfield in the Voronezh region and military facilities in the Leningrad region. About 30 flights have been delayed at Pulkovo airport. In Russia, drones attacked a plant in Cheboksary, which manufactures spare parts for electronic devices. A fire broke out. The Russians, of course, didn't expect drones, and anti-aircraft defense, of course, didn't work.
This is where it flies. It's flying here. It's flying here. Awesome.
Military counterintelligence officers of the Security Service of Ukraine hit another 97 units of enemy heavy weapons. Servicemen from the Department of Military Counterintelligence of the Security Service of Ukraine are destroying enemy equipment using strike drones. The Security Service of Ukraine wrote about this on its Telegram page and showed a video of the hits. Trump signed the law that he insisted on for so long and which some senators were against because the American president stopped the supply of weapons to Ukraine. This law is called One Big Beautiful Bill. Among the main laws, the ceiling of the U.S. national debt is raising to $5 trillion. And the law also provides for allocations for defense and infrastructure. Critics have already called this law a time bomb because of the increase in the deficit and debt load.
That's a good one. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. That was a good one.
That was a good one.
Wow. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you.
Mr. President, this is the gavel we use to enact the big, beautiful bill, and I want you to have that for your
Are we ready?
Gavel us in.
ready.
Are we ready?
We are ready.
Have a good time, everybody. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Democratic senators announced the launch of the investigation into the reason why the issue of strengthening anti-Russian sanctions by US President Donald Trump was put on a 5-month pause. As reported in The Hill, instead of continuing pressure, the US is now easing restrictions. Democratic senators Jean Schachen, Elizabeth Warren and Chris Coons issued a joint statement. It states that Trump could have taken affordable steps to pressure the aggressor, but instead is doing nothing.
The United States has not imposed any new sanctions on Russia over its invasion of Ukraine since President Trump took office in January, and in some cases has eased those restrictions, according to an analysis by the New York Times. Under former President Biden, Washington imposed more than 6,200 sanctions on Moscow-linked entities, targeting companies, trade and financial transactions that fuel its war machine, an average of more than 170 new sanctions per month. The lawmakers say the lack of new sanctions only allows Russian President Vladimir Putin to continue his offensive in Ukraine, even as Trump has repeatedly said he would quickly end the war.
In an interview with journalists, Trump said that he was supposedly discussing sanctions with the Russian side. And in addition, Trump said that Putin supposedly managed to cope with the sanctions imposed by Biden, but Trump's sanctions are much tougher. In reality, Trump has no sanctions at all so far. There are only talks about nothing.
We talk a lot about sanctions, yes. I would say he's not thrilled about it, but you know, he's able to fight sanctions, but it's quite painful sanctions. No, we talk a lot about sanctions. And he understands that it can happen, and, you know, he's a professional. Yes, it can be. As for me, I believe that I am tougher with Russia than I was before. Well, I think I'm tougher with Russia than I've been with almost any other country.
You have noticed that recently such a character as so-called General Gurulev has disappeared from Russian propaganda broadcasts. The reason is not his alcoholism on Russia. It is welcomed. The reason is that in a state of alcoholic intoxication, Gurulev tells Russian secrets. In particular, we're talking about real military plans, and now Gurulev managed to get on some unknown Russian blog. But even here, he didn't linger, because he clearly stated that no matter how many countries bordering Belarus and Russia mind their borders, Russia will still go to war against them. Gurulev said it exactly like that. I suggest you just listen.
I have just arrived from Brest. This morning, I got off the train. I was at the commemorative events in honor of the beginning of the Great Patriotic War, the Brest Fortress. And I will tell you this, I will not talk to whom, how, and why the Poles are now very strongly strengthening the border. But here it is very clear why they hear. Here is the key word, up. If they didn't, they should get hit on the head. They should, and they understand perfectly well that sooner or later they will get hit on the head, no matter what mines they put everything along the borders. And no matter what, the time will come. I am more than sure of this. And they will get hit on the head.
Thank you for watching this video. Stay with Ukraine and help Ukraine in our just and sacred struggle. With your support, we will definitely defeat Russia.